your score job's the next one over. Right, I'll text Chris. Here. Yeah.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Are we going? Are we live? Looks like it.
Yeah.
Okay, hello. Welcome to Rams football. My name is Taylor Umlin alongside Freddie Loach for another game. And here we go. Here is kickoff. Rams on the kickoff, and we're here against the Chester Romans. Big return. Rams try to shut it down, and they do. Return by Tom Bell. And we're off and running. Sorry for the late arrival, but let's get you set up here. Rams come into this game 3-1. They beat Chester at their place last time out, 35-0. Rams come in a little depleted on this one, some injuries, but defense has been great all season. I'm going to bring in Freddie here. Freddie Loach, you used to play on this defense. It's coming out onto the field right now. What are you trying to do on this first drive? Who should we be looking for?
For me, I'll be looking at Loz Lowish to start with. It's his first start of the season, coming across from Scunthorpe Alphas in the off-season, obviously with their merger with the Humber Warhawks. He's today playing on our right defensive end. Are we looking at now, number 37? Are we looking at how he's playing today?
There is Tom Bell on the carry, and that's wrapped up. Kelvin Newsom, one of the first people there. Good start for the Rams. Gain of, no, we're going to call that a loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
That was Kelvin Newsom getting in there to make a good, strong tackle, and then Johnny Grit, number 5, came in to clean up over the top. J5 come to us this year, having transferred from Leicester Panthers last year. He wasn't at our last stream. He wasn't available for that game, but we get to see him today, and I'm excited to see how he plays.
Romans come out, trips far side, offset tight end, drops back to pass. Out to the sideline, that's covered well, incomplete, bringing up 3rd down.
That's good coverage there by Harry Anker, the safety that came across. He's a new player to us last year, having played at Leeds Beckett, played a lot of rugby. He's played for us last year, finished his studies, and he's still remaining on the Rams. So it's good to see him sticking about. He keeps developing more and more as the seasons go on.
Quarterback Josh Richmond had some time to throw there. Let's see what he can come up here on 3rd and 11. Rams looking to pin their ears back. Faith Arajoba off the line. Quarterback bumps into his own man. Scrambles. There's a pick opportunity. Missed. But it comes incomplete, and that will bring up 4th down. Few things on there. It looked like there might have been an offside. Quarterback ran into his own guy, and then nearly a pick at the end of it. All for nothing. 4th down.
Hey, it's a good job from the Rams there to go with it. I mean, for it to be 4th down, I would have assumed that was some kind of false start with the offsides, it looked like, but that wouldn't have been a free play. So I'm not really quite sure what's happened there. But we've got 4th down, and Romans are getting ready to punt.
So 3 and out for the Rams. Tyler Broad back to receive. Punts away clean. Going to be able to get himself under that one. Going to let it drop. And out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. And just because I promised, while we got a minute here, if my son Joe is watching, I said I would say hello. And this is me doing. How you doing, pal?
Hi, Joe. Nice to know you're here.
Rams come out for their first drive. And let's take a look at their starters. Rams, pretty consistent offensive starter-wise this year. Number 10, Michael Rojas.
16.
Or 16,
That's my bad handwriting. I apologize, Taylor.
It's all right. I think we're going to have Nat Wise in starting at running back today. Matt Snell and Dan Haywood, your wide receivers. Fred Jones and Fahim Fish Hassan, your slots. And then on the line, as it's been for a few years now, left to right, Tom Southwell, Jamie Broom, Eden Fay, Steve Goodward, and Owen Byrne at right tackle. God, I always felt safe when I was back there at quarterback. He just made me feel so comfortable.
That says a lot about my play at practice if you felt comfortable back there. I need to be better next time.
Rams trips to the far side on 1st down. They give up the middle on a counter. Room to run, hesitates, doesn't quite hit the hole, and he's wrapped up after about a gain of 4 or 5, but a good first play for the Rams.
Yeah, a good run. You want to start strong, and a run is a way to do that.
Rams love that counter, don't they?
They love moving people about and confusing the defense. Nat Wise finding his hole between his big O lineman and running through it.
And to be fair, I think that's one of the strengths of this O line in particular is that everyone pulls well.
Yes.
There isn't anybody on that line who is incapable of pulling. That means the run can go anywhere at any time,
which is very dangerous.
Same formation here. Rams shotgun, 2nd and 5. Give middle, room to run, but he's met by a host of Romans. after about a gain of 3. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Rams. Let's see what they do with this first one. Weird one for the Rams today. Their normal offensive coordinator, Jim Rea, not able to be here. And so the defensive coordinator and head coach, Dorian Divix, is calling plays today, which is interesting. He's a very good DC, but now he's switching sides of the ball. And one of the defensive coaches has stepped up to call plays on defense today.
Well, I believe from what I've been told from some of the offensive staff as well that our centre and captain Eden Fay will be also helping with the play calling, which is
QB sneak, and that one's going to roll for a gain of 6. That is classic Rams football. And you could see even the Romans were there. They had 4 dudes lined up in the middle, but just went into the B gap off right side.
Yep, no way of stopping that when you have that kind of O-line. We're getting shouts outs from the sideline here.
1st and 10 for the Rams, 3 straight on the ground. It's a nice day out, though. I mean, I could see some passing today. There is a little bit of wind moving the trees, but nothing to affect the ball too much.
I'm just happy it's not too sunny. I burnt yesterday, so I'm just glad that it's not too...
Is it a summer day that ends in Y? Oh, my God, look at that.
Squashy.
That is very pink.
Was building a fence. Manly.
Rams out in the same formation. Offset tight end, fake to the middle, play action, goes to the sideline, but that's underthrown. Didn't quite get his feet set on that one, but a good read. Time was there, and he was open, but I'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, an unfortunate play there for Michael Rojas. Dan Haywood, obviously, on the out. A good route, just a little deeper than I think Mikey was expecting.
Do we say it route or route?
Ooh, it's a great question. I say route.
Is it route? I know. I've only been here 12 years. I'm still learning.
If I was on my way somewhere, I'd say en route. I'm en route rather than en route.
En route. That sounds very posh.
En route sounds weird.
I'm not from here either.
2nd and 10.
I don't sound like I am.
Give, middle, not wise, but he's going to be met very quickly. Well, that was a great jump off the line. I'm trying to look who that was for
Number
the Romans.
5.
Steve McCauley. Good play there. That was a really strong tackle.
Defensive end.
And he came. I think that may have been a read. That may have just not been picked up, or maybe it was a straight run play where he was unblocked. But either way, he was in there real fast. It's a good
play by the defense there, really getting the tackle in the backfield on 2nd down to make it 3rd and long. The Rams haven't really connected with their passes so far today. So
0 for 1. I mean,
exactly.
Easy now.
0%.
3rd down for the Rams.
That 2 looks offside.
2 receivers to the near side. Offset tight end to the far side. Outside. Pitch. Looks upfield. Can he get the block? No. And that's going to be wrapped up and tackled. Good play there from Charlie Smith. The Romans captain playing both ways today. Comes up with a big play there on 3rd down to bring up the punt.
That was a great defensive play by the Chester Romans there. You know, Charlie Smith playing in 54 today, normally plays in 25 from what I've gathered. He's not typically wearing that number, but today he's having to play left tackle or right tackle as well as playing on the defense. So they've given him an ineligible number so that he can play there. A great defensive play, just went with the toss and made the tackle in the backfield.
It's a tough one on that toss because if you don't turn the corner or see the place to turn the corner quickly, as you can see there, they just ran out of room,
ran out of space.
Dan Haywood back to punt, long snap, good.
Great
Good punt there, angled to the sideline. Don't let it drop, and they do, and that will roll to about the 12-yard line, somewhere in there, and the Romans will come out for their 2nd drive of the day.
We've got some what looks like a bit of rotation on the defensive line. I can see Alex Beaumont coming in on the left end, maybe. No, it looks like he's inside because Loz and Faith are on, so we'll see the way they line up. But we've got a rotation on the D-line here.
Let's see what the Romans have for their 2nd drive here. A little generous on where I gave that punt. I think we're going to start this one at about the 17 or so.
It's difficult to see the far sideline from this side to know where it really rolled out.
New formation here for the Romans. They come out in a pistol look. Give. Looks to the far side, searching that right side of the offensive line. That's going to turn into a scrum after a gain of about 2. Tom Bell on the carry.
It looked like a good run, I thought, there to start with, but looking at the down and distance, they actually didn't make much yardage. I think the QB might be set quite far back because it felt like he was running for ages and hasn't actually got many yards.
Well, he didn't. It's early in a game. You don't want to, be too critical, but he seemed to be a little hesitant on the carry a little bit. Didn't quite hit it with, especially when you're coming out of the pistol, you get all that running room up. Pass, and that's going to be incomplete. Good coverage there I believe that's Nat
Nat
Derrick
Derrick.
over there at that left corner position. Slid inside, swatted the ball away. Good play, 3rd and 8.
A really nice play there by Nat Derrick biting down on that route. Even if he'd caught that, he was getting smacked with Nat with the speed that he was coming in. So
Nat's very good at going for the ball. You know,
he's fantastic.
he's not a huge dude. He knows what his abilities are. And yeah, I've seen him come up and really stick somebody in the ribs, but most of the time he's very good at playing right at the ball with his hands.
He's an incredibly talented cornerback.
Pull,
Run.
looks for it. Nope, that's going to be wrapped up almost immediately. I didn't see who got there first. I'm going to try to see who gets up on the bottom of that pile. But that was a terrific play on the line.
It's that man I mentioned at the start, Loz Lowish.
Yeah.
Got in, white helmet there, number 37, former Scunthorpe Alpha, comes in, gets that tackle, brings down 4th down.
Followed the pulling guard. Nobody filled it quick enough, and he just was scraping along the backside there. Good play.
Absolutely fantastic play there by the defense. And another 3 and out.
Yep, 3 and out there. And Rams will be very happy with that. And was it Sam Reed calling defensive calls today as well? First time D coordinator D play caller for the Rams.
It could. Is it Sam? Is he playing?
Yeah,
is he
no,
doing
he's
doing the play calling.
Oh,
Oh, fantastic.
Snap, chance to return, stepped up, but muffed. And who's going to come up with it? That's going to be the Romans. They come up with it. That was an ill-advised take on the punt. I didn't quite see who was back there to take it. Harry Anchor. And, you know, he's not normally doing that job. They try to go with two returners at the back. Broad was on the other side. They went at Anchor. And given the fact that that was a pretty high and short punt, it might have been best to either do a fair catch or just let that one go.
Yeah. It was a good recovery, though. Shinsuke Hayashi has got the recovery there for the Chester Romans.
This drive brought to you by Awesome, big projects, small projects, and everything in between. Awesome helps you get it done. Romans to the air. That's looking for the completion. They do get it, but it's great coverage again. Nat Derrick takes him down as soon as he catches it, but nearly, it looked like he went for the pick and just was able to hold on to the back of the jersey and bring him down for the gain of about 7. It's nice to see the Romans air it out a little bit. We'll see what they do here on 2nd and 4. Offset tight end. Give, middle, and that defensive line's in there very, very quickly.
Loz Lowish again with the tackle in the backfield. I'm feeling pretty good about that pick as a player to watch.
You know, it's tough sometimes when you're calling a whole game, especially when you see a D lineman or somebody like just being that dominant, because you almost want to focus in on them to see what they're doing so well, because at both those times he's come off the right side and made the right at 66. You know, the left guard, the left tackle, the center looked slow.
Yeah.
3rd and 5, back to pass. There he's got the out route, but that's going to be picked. Lots of room to run. Can he make it? No, he's going to be dragged down. Good tackle there from the quarterback. Who was that on that
That's
pick?
Johnny Grit.
Johnny Grit with
J5.
the pick. That was a beautiful read. And I got to say, the Romans quarterback came up with a touchdown saving tackle there on his own. But a beautiful read there. Went for the out route, threw it behind him. Safety stepped up.
Absolutely great play there by Johnny Grit, a player that's been around the block here in Britball. He's made his way here now to the Yorkshire Rams, and he's bringing a lot of experience and talent to this defense.
Today's game is supported by O'Neill's Leads, bringing Rams supporters together. And there is a few up there having a beer up there in the clubhouse. I'm sure they'll be at O'Neill's later.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go have a couple.
1st and 10 for Rojas and the Rams. They come out, 2 receivers to the near side. Let's see if they want to go to the air just yet. They do. On 1st down. Looks deep. Lets it go. Got a chance to get under it. Can he do it? Yes! That's caught! Touchdown. Waiting for the signal. There it is. Touchdown, Rams. Is that Fahim Fish Hassan going deep out of the slot for the touchdown? That is going to be a 27-yard, beautifully thrown ball. 6 points for the Rams.
It was a great play there. Some really good protection from the O-line, I thought. I was watching the battle on this side between number 5 and Owen. He was keeping him pretty steady. He's got that Joey and Nick Bosa rush stance that really pulled back, trying to fire out. But he stepped a little bit, and if you do that in front of Owen, he's going to get his hands on you, and you are not going anywhere. Keeps that right side clean, and the pass goes out that way. Touchdown. PAT connected, 7-0 to the Yorkshire Rams.
And you know what? You can call it a little bit wanting to start the game slow, conservative, but they came out. That was all run plays up to that point. 1st down, Probably not expecting to go to the air, but you do so off that turnover, try to keep that pressure on. And to be fair, the corner for the Romans had a chance to go. I think that was number 8, Josh Walden, who was in coverage. Had a chance, but Fish just kept at it,
Yep.
kept staying with it, and found that ball right in the breadbasket.
It was a really, really good catch. It was through hands. It's not one of those clean catches you get as a wide receiver where you just go on a fake and you beat the man on speed. He was right there. Perfect placement by Mikey Rojas and a good catch by Fish. We're getting ready for the kickoff here now for the Yorkshire Rams. Have you noticed Trish's new facial hair?
No.
It's gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's not got a beard. It
Where'd
looks
it
a bit
go?
odd, so we call him Troy Polomini now because he now looks like Troy Polamalu but tiny. So it's Troy Polomini.
You just made me snort my drink through that.
I'm sorry. You never want Dr. Pepper in your nose.
That's really
It's
funny.
very bubbly.
Troy Polomini. I really like that. And that is a beautiful kick. Nothing mini about that as it goes back for the touchback. Rams 7-0.
I think it's a credit to Trish, actually, that today he was named captain for the team. He doesn't really get on the offensive side of the ball all that much like he used to, but he is one of the most consistent kickers I've played with or watched. And because of that, he's been named captain today, which I'd just like to give a big congratulations to Trish for that, being recognised for his solidity and his contribution to the team over the past couple of seasons.
Solidity.
It's
a good word.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it is a word, but I like it.
It is solidity. Ruby?
Yorkshire Rams coverage today, backed by Hollins Hill Cars. Romans out for their next possession. They go motion. Middle. That's going to be wrapped up again, and that is a whole lot of Rams there to make that tackle. Tom Ball on the carry, and he's having a tough all day getting going. He's taken quite a few licks here in the first few drives.
This Rams defense, they do that to you. They swarm. They're right there, and they don't hit gentle.
That is the strength of that defense. I mean, there is hardly a place to call somewhere not a strength on this defense.
No.
But I would say trying to attack their middle is tough order.
Tough sledding. For the record, solidity is a word, but it's directly to do with
outside. Jolly's got the corner. That's a good job. Good chase there from the Rams defense to bump him out of bounds. That's Johnny Grit on the push. And if he didn't make that tackle, I think they would have turned the corner and probably had a good chance for a touchdown there. So good play.
Yeah, a great play by the Chester Romans there, getting him to the outside and allowing him to get that space.
Lewis Young comes off the field for the Rams defense, limping, hoping he can get back on here soon.
With these two in the middle, Kelvin and Duro, this might be the biggest sets of arms in Britwell.
These are two big dudes filling up that middle of the Rams defense. Let's see what the Romans have to do here on 3rd and 6. They go motion, let him set. Try to go for the offside, try to get him jump. Defense did cross, got back, but did the right tackle go?
It looked like the right tackle went to me. That's Charlie Smith.
That would be Charlie Smith over there playing both ways. Refs deliberate.
Let's see what's going on.
It's a tough one on these offside calls because the offense cannot move.
No.
The defense can get back.
As long as there's no contact.
As long as there's no contact. But that's such a tough one for the ref to probably judge. Did his hand touch his hand? Did he get back? It's a tough one. But I think the Romans maybe missed a trick there, and they probably, if they would have snapped it while they were in the neutral zone, probably would have been an easier call for the refs.
Yep. And now, unfortunately, I'm not
sure.
It
is going to be called for the offside. So that's going to be nearly a first down. I don't think it quite gives. Yes, it is. First down for the Romans. Like their first one of the day.
Yep.
And they've had, I think they're probing. They might find a way to get at this Rams defense because as good as it is in the middle, there is some room on those edges if you can find the place. And they went with the running back out of the backfield a couple plays ago, just trying to get some space, some room to work. Josh Richmond takes a snap, drops back, goes to his running back. Tom Bell makes a cut inside, but then he is met by 6 different Rams, all eager to make a tackle for a gain of 4.
I think it says a lot about this Rams defense that 2 of the people that were in on that, 3 of the 5 people that were in on that tackle were defensive linemen, 2 of them being defensive tackles and 1 being a defensive end. To get from there to where they made the tackle, you've got to get some hustle to get there that fast. And credit to Sam and his defensive line that he's instilled in them that you're not just up front, you've got to get out to the flats.
Go play some ball. Romans in a tight formation. They go counter back across the formation. That's going to be stuffed by the linebacker who comes up and fills that one. Who gets off the bottom of that pile? That was a beautiful play, but I couldn't. I think that was Laws again.
Again, off
It
the bottom
wasn't.
of the pile.
That was not a line. That wasn't a linebacker at all. That's a D lineman looking like that, making that play. He is having himself a ball game.
He absolutely is. As I say, I'm very confident about the pick of player to watch now.
3rd and 6, we'll call it. Rams trying to keep the Romans in their own end. End of the first quarter coming soon. Drops back, pass, looking deep. He's got one-on-one coverage to the outside, and that's going to fall incomplete. Great coverage over there by Nat Derrick. Looking for his wide receiver on the far side. Ollie Wright, Ollie Willett. Incomplete.
Looks like we're going for a punt, 4th down.
The Rams have looked resolute on defense. I mean, the only first down coming from the penalty, not given hardly anything, a pick already. They came ready to play today.
They always look confident. They've already this is the reverse fixture, so both teams know what the other is about. They played each other in Chester a couple weeks ago.
Punt. Really good punt. High and away. That one's going to fall possibly into the end zone for a touchback. Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
And the Rams will have it 1st and 10.
So as I was saying, these two teams played against each other a couple of weeks ago. They already know each other. They've played against each other at least once. This is the reverse fixture. They know the schemes. They know what each other are about. They have the individual matchups have already been done. This is just a return to that. So there's not a lot of figuring out what's going on unless changes have been made. Offense coming out now.
While we have a chance to talk about it, let's go back and look at the Rams. Because the last time we were here for a home game, they won. They beat Glasgow. And since they've gone up to Glasgow and won the reverse fixture, they played Chester away and won. But they did lose one, 21-16 to Newcastle.
Yep.
Their only loss of the season so far. And you know what? Not bad for a defense. If you're going to lose, you give yourself your team a chance to win when you only give up 3. I think that you got to score points to win.
Exactly. It's a as a defensive person, you want to see the 0 on the board, but I always say less than 21 is a pretty good scoreline.
Screen inside, and he came just a little bit too far back inside, and that's going to be met and dropped by. I'm trying to look who that is on the defense over there. I'm not sure. I think that's going to be Cam Johnson, who came over from his inside linebacker spot to make the play.
Good screen there for Ibi Seitar getting the catch there. Not 100 yards, not a load of yards, but enough that it makes this, a 2nd and medium and really opens up the playbook at this point.
2nd and 6. I always like off that screen to get a little bit more north-south rather than east-west. Nat Wise on the carry. He's got the counter. He's got people out in front. Can he bust it? No, but it's going to go for a first down. Good tough run there and a first down for the Rams.
Great run there by Nat Wise. As you were saying before, any member of this offensive line can pull, which means the run comes from any direction. Nat Wise takes the counter, follows his big men up the middle, and gets the first down.
Yeah, you don't see them run a lot of inside zone, do you? It's a lot of counter, power, something leading. So you're not getting those straight gives across the formation very often.
It's a lot of this big man's going to run in front of me, and I'm just going to follow. Give this guy a run up, because that's what you want. A 300-pound man running at you, having got a 10-yard run up.
Rams go 2 receivers to the near side, offset tight end to the far side. Snap, give to Wise again. Can he bust it through the middle, looking for yards? Gets about 4 or 5 before he's met by a few Romans and brought down. 2nd and 5.
Well, I've got a little break here, a couple comments. Brody says, so excited for Freddie content. That's nice to hear.
Who isn't?
Brownie says, hi, Taylor.
Hey, man.
We got Chris Hearn saying, let's go Rams. And Jerode Garrett wants to know where these jits from.
Jits?
Idiots, I guess.
Probably. Well, I'm from Iowa.
And I'm from York, so there you go.
Yeah. 2nd and 6 for the Rams. They go trips to the near side. Dan Haywood at the lead of that. Pump fake. Rojas pulls it down. Now he's going to look to run. He does. Gets himself about 4 yards and slides down. Avoids the contact. Good tackle there from Cam Johnson.
Pass rusher got through and Nat Wise picked him up in the backfield. That was good pass pro by Nat and good awareness by Mikey just to go.
Oh, they're going to give him the first down on that. He got a few more yards than I thought he did.
Oh, so, lovely stuff.
Yeah. Hey, you'll take the complimentary spot, won't you?
Absolutely.
Let's see what the Rams have to do here. We haven't hit the end of the first quarter yet, have we?
Not yet, no.
Seems like it's been going on quite some time.
Only 22 minutes.
Lots of drives, though.
Lots of drives.
Yeah, a couple 3-and-outs. Rams motion across the formation. Rojas looks to pass. He looks to the flat. No, he's got a man deep if he wants it. Now he goes to him, but at that point, he had come all the way back in, and the ball goes over his head. But we do have a penalty marker here near the line of scrimmage on the outside. Might be a defensive hold.
I think it might be illegal forward pass. I think there was a chance that Mikey was in front of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Illegal formation.
Illegal formation. Interesting.
Usually that's either an offensive lineman is too far back in their set, or the skill players have screwed it up.
Well, I just heard one of the Rams say "Good job, 55," which is our center.
Huh.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I'm going to chalk that one up to a mystery.
Yeah.
1st and 15 now for the Rams. Teo on the carry. He tries to avoid a few. He does. Dives forward for about a gain of 3 or 4.
We had Jamie pull on there, and Teo ran up the gap he'd left behind. While Jamie rumbles as a decoy player to the other side of the offensive formation. Kicking things over. Sorry about that screen.
Second and 12 for the Rams. Kind of a slow pace to the offense here on this drive. Let's see if they can crank up some energy. 3-man front for the Romans. Playing that 3-4. They give the jet sweep. Ipsardar, can he turn the corner? Ooh, very nearly. Man, he built up speed really quickly.
He really did. That was very fast. It was a great jet sweep getting up the field as well.
But brought down just shy, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. That's where the Rams will start going the other way on a 3rd and 3, and they'll flip the sides.
There's your end of the first quarter that you were asking for.
Well, I was getting antsy.
Sometimes you just need a little 5 seconds.
So good first quarter for the Rams. They lead 7-0. I think there's more in this game. I think there's some excitement here. I think you're right. You know, with the last game being 35-0, this is a return leg. I think both teams are kind of settling in for a pace that they already have said is going to be there. And there's something to be said for a team that, you know, like the Rams, it doesn't matter how much you win by, a win's a win.
Exactly.
So if you can see it through, play conservative, and get nobody hurt on the day, that's really the main thing you want to do.
Well, one of the things the Rams will be looking to do, they'll obviously have to hope for Newcastle to drop a fixture here or there, but kind of the way the playoffs work is you almost have to go undefeated to get home advantage and come the playoffs if they come around. So they'll be wanting to get the rest of the season as a clean sweep so that they can try and get home field advantage, and they'll need Newcastle to drop a result to get there.
Things like points given up, points scored, those things do matter, especially if it's going to come down to a tiebreaker of some kind. But they do have Newcastle back here home in a couple of weeks, which could help settle that score.
Absolutely.
That is not the right. The chains are not correct there. Right now, the Rams are lined up for about a 3rd and 7, but that is not correct. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. 3rd and 4 for the Rams. Fred Jones, offset tight end. He proves pretty key in a lot of these situations, whether it's with a block or a route. He's a good guy to have there at tight end.
Always solid.
Last year's offensive MVP. Rojas takes the snap, gives, middle. Can he get there? Teo rumbles forward, and I think they're going to give it to him. A good, tough run there from 19. Attaboy.
Great run there. And as we
a little fist pump. He loved that.
He's feeling it. He's what as you mentioned, Fred, there about coming in clutch with the blocks. He was the lead blocker on that play. Made his way up the A gap, and Teo just followed.
I know things.
I know you know things. I know things too. I said Loz.
Yeah.
We're both really good at this.
Stroke our ego some more. Let's see what the Rams can do now on 1st down. They did come out a couple of drives ago and want to go deep. They are going against the wind on this drive. They do go to the air. Back to that screen. Bobbled and dropped. Maybe Sardar couldn't hold on to that one. And it is a tough one, I have to say. Like, unless you really snap your hips as a quarterback on that screen to really get your body lined up, those throws can be very tough, especially to your open side.
It's one of those things that you see it in college, you see it in the NFL. They literally just take the ball, jump, throw.
You're just getting everything back in the same throwing line. If you think it's almost like throwing it dead forward, you still need to get your hips turned. You still need to get your body in the right position. And when you think you have to flip that a full 90 degrees and throw, hopefully in about less than a second,
Yeah.
it's a lot of things for
It's
the
a lot of
body to
things
get
to do.
right. Second down for the Rams. They go tight end to the near side now. Running back, same side, strong formation. They go up the middle. They go with a big carry there. He's rumbling. He's stumbling. Wow, that is a huge push. What a run. Just call that 15 yards where he was carrying people for about 12. That's Yuri on the carry. We're trying to find the number. That is somebody from down the running back depth chart. Well, what's his name? That is a tall running back as well. There it is.
It's not. It's not.
We're going to try to get you a name on that. That was a really, really good run. Let's see what they can do here on first down again. Rams go trips to the far side. Matt Snell here to the near side looking for his first catch. Let's see if they go at him. Here is the red zone. Well, not quite 3 yards out. But nope. Yeah, they go to the air. Will they go to him? Snell on the post. Yes! Touchdown Rams! What a read from Michael Rojas. Looked right, came back to the left. Snell wide open on the post route. That is a beautiful play. 13-0 Rams. That was absolutely lovely. Everything about that play worked exactly as you wanted in the playbook. That backside post against trips. Safety's got to make a decision. Left with a one-on-one against the cornerback. And I have to say that Mike Henderson on the coverage there just couldn't handle what was coming there. I left the middle of the park wide open. It's an easy pitch and catch, but you still want to get it right, and he did. Beautiful.
That run was a run by Jamie.
And there's a block.
Oh, there's a block.
Extra point's been blocked. A lot of pressure there. Not much. Trish kind of waves his arms a little bit, but not much he could do there. Right side of the line just sort of collapsed on that one. We'll stay at 13-0.
That big run there by number 10. Normally that's Kimar Alette, but it isn't today. Say it's Jamie Bokre Dankwa. I will, at halftime, check how to pronounce that surname. For now, it's Jamie.
Jamie, like Cher.
Or JBD.
JBD.
I'm going to go with JBD. That's what we'll call him.
We should learn his name, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the Rams have been offensively spurt-like today. Kind of crawl along. You know, it doesn't look like it's going to go, and then they have that big pass play in the bag that they can reach to, and Rojas has hit a couple of big ones when he's been asked to.
Yes, this Rams offense it's methodical. You know, you never. Every time they come on the field, you feel like they're going to score somehow, whether that's a run or a pass.
The threat is there.
The threat is always there. Maybe it doesn't happen every drive, but the threat is there, and that's what you want from an offense to know. It doesn't matter what they do. There's a chance that there's 6 points going on at the end of it.
Good kick. Bit short. Collected it on the bounce at about the 12 on the run, but great coverage downfield, wrapped up immediately. That was lovely. I think letting it drop, he just lost that bit of time.
That's two running backs there, Nat Wise and Leroy.
What a boy.
Getting the tackle, and he's just giving us a couple finger guns up to here.
Did he holster him, though?
No, they're still in his hands, and he's slapping people. I think he's dropped them.
That's not safe. Romans come out looking and needing a response now as the game gets to 13-0, and their offense hasn't been able to gather a whole lot of steam just yet, mainly because that run game just can't seem to get going. Let's see what they can do here. Motion across the formation, but it's a give. Bell doesn't find much. Tossed down. Great defensive play. Trying to look who made that play. I think that was Johnny Grit again. making that play. Is he playing linebacker now?
He plays safety, but it looks like yes, he's playing linebacker and 35, which I believe is Robbie Green, isn't it? Star.
Romans back to pass on the curl, yes, but doesn't go far. Wrapped up by Nat Derrick for what are they going to give him? They're not going to give him forward progress on that. I think they're going to call that a gain of 1.
Looks like it.
Wow. He definitely gained more yards than that, but not given the forward progress today. They're calling these plays from the sideline, the Romans are, but not in any sort of quick pace. It is a pretty methodical approach still, but keeps the Rams from being able to do any defensive subs. There you go for the screen. That's going to be overthrown. Not much of a chance given there on the play. Josh Richmond on the overthrow.
A good play there by the Rams defense to keep it in front of them and brings up 4th down, and we'll get the Rams offense back on.
I think this is what we're saying about that feeling of a threat. The Romans haven't had that play that's popped yet. Even on that last drive for the Rams, it wasn't the touchdown play, but JBD comes in and there's a pop there every once in a while. There's something that pushes the defense back on their heels a little bit, and it just seems like the Rams are on their toes on defense, constantly coming downhill to make plays.
Yeah, you need an offense that gives a defense pause, and our defense is confident that they'll get through and stop the play. So
another good punt, but Tyler Broad collects. He's got room to run, cuts it back. Can he make a cut? He makes 1, he makes 2, makes the guy miss. Getting dragged down, nearly loses the ball, keeps his feet. They can't bring him down. Can he reverse the field? There's one more guy to get him, and I don't know if he's going to get out of this one, but my goodness, what a return from Tyler Broad. I think he ran about 40 yards to gain about 12.
I mean, you can't take that man down, but the one thing that I'd like to say off that play is, yes, a fantastic play from Tyler, nearly getting tackled, staying on his feet, nearly getting tackled, staying on his feet. But you know why he can stay on his feet? Because the rest of the defensive unit are holding their blocks. I watched Nat Derrick hold his block for ages. Tyler had it. He still was blocking his man pretty much just in the flat zone. Kelvin Newsom took someone to the floor at the end there, a fantastic block from him, and you don't get those returns if you don't have the blocking in front of you.
There was one I watched even late. I mean, it broke about his 3rd or 4th tackle, and as he went to go to try to get the edge, there was still another Ram there to seal it for him.
Absolutely.
But now's the time to put the screws in the game if they can. Up 2 scores. Let's see what the Rams do on 1st and 10, starting from the 37-yard line. They start on the ground. JBD on the give. There's a big hole there. He needs to make the cut inside. He doesn't. He hesitates, and that's going to go for no gain, 2nd and 10. There was space there. I think he just made the wrong decision at the wrong time.
Absolutely. The space was there to run through, and sometimes you just see too much color. Do you know what I mean? We've got white jerseys. You see some red in front of you, and you stutter for that split second, and that split second is all it takes.
I could hear a shout down there from offensive coach Spencer Wybrow, stay inside. And there is that, sometimes a running back, you feel like, I got to get to the outside. That's where the space is. But when everybody else is making those blocks for you, the space is actually inside, tucking up against your blockers. 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Looks over the middle. That is going to be caught. What a catch. Catch, run, stumbling, rumbling, all the way down to the 12-yard line. Great play there for the Rams. Not sure who that was on the catch. I need to get Leroy. Beautiful over the middle, too. There's a lot of garbage in front of him that he had to sort through on that crosser. And Rojas spots him over the middle. Great pitch and catch.
Liam Calvert is his name. We know him as Leroy, but it is Liam Calvert that made that catch.
It sounds better, Leroy.
You
can say Leroy Calvert.
Liam Leroy Calvert, LLC.
1st and 10 for the Rams from the 12. Working in the red zone again. They give. Running back, Nat.
That's Yuri there.
Yuri up the middle. Yuri, I need to look up his last name.
I like watching Yuri run the ball because he just puts his head down and goes forward.
He was away from the team for several weeks. He's been back. He's Portuguese. Played with him last year. Really liked him. He's a worker. He works really hard, and he runs really low. He's got a low center of gravity to his game. Makes him tough to tackle. Second and 5, maybe 6. Out of the shotgun. Offset tight end to the right. 2 receivers that way. Single receiver left. They give up the middle again on the counter. Is there room to run? Yes, there is. Close to a touchdown. I think he's going to be brought down a yard. No, he's going to be called in. He's over the plane. touchdown Rams.
That was a really lovely looking run there. Bounced off the man, goes through into the end zone, make sure he gets a touchdown. But we've got an offensive lineman down on the field, Thomas Southwell. Looks like he's hobbling a little bit.
Still getting there though. Still getting there.
He's making the.
He's getting off the field. Maybe he's gonna do the lie down. I think that's a good call. He looks like he's in a lot of pain there. Somebody rolled up on his ankle, I think. That was a great play for the Rams. Hard nose running right up the gut. That's some big play possible. You know, the Rams are hitting them big now. You know, the space is starting to open up, and they're not doing anything grand or different or magnificent. They're running up the middle really hard, and once they're meeting them, they're still going through it, still breaking tackles, and he got drug into the end zone.
Yeah, it was a lovely looking series there by the Rams. Some very strong running, and then a touchdown at the end of it.
Over the middle as well. I mean,
oh yeah, of course. Yeah, but it was to a running back. So
he's not a running back anymore. He is clearly a wide receiver with those hands. You see that?
He came out from the hate spot.
I know.
So he's a tight end.
Fine. And that up 3 scores now. And that last touchdown has been brought to you by Holland's Hill Cars, built on trust and reliability. And this break in the action brought to you by O'Neill's. If you're following the Rams off the field, O'Neill's Leads is the place to be after the game, of course.
Yeah, don't be there right now.
Right now, Rams
you should be here. There's nothing else on. Last time we did this, there was the Leeds United semi-final. Last night was the Champions League final. No, I was busy, unfortunately. I kept having getting the updates on my phone, but no, unfortunately, I didn't watch it. Truly, I don't really care about PSG or Arsenal.
Oh, me neither. But it was like
sport is sport.
Yeah, I mean, there's something with the ball on TV.
Yeah, something to do.
It's either that or tennis.
Yeah. The other important game today, of course, and I'd like to give a shout out to a number of players who aren't here for the Rams. Emma Cook isn't here today because she is representing Team GB down in Coventry at Butts Park. A member of the Rams defensive line. Emma Cook is a defensive lineman for the national team, so she's not here today to help us out, but she is down representing our country. So congratulations to Emma for that.
This kick is not blocked, up and good for the Rams. Bring the score to 20-0 as we're in here to the second quarter. They won the last one 35-0, and you can kind of see that methodical nature of it. It's not flashy, right? But it's a lot of good plays at the right time that put points on the board.
Absolutely.
And you might be able to get some of your subs here, get everybody a little bit of game action, stay healthy.
Yeah, well, we've seen a lot of rotation. Fred's normally RH, and we had Leroy in for the last drive. We've seen lots of rotation at the running back position. D-line has rotated. I don't believe we have much depth at DB, apart from I'm seeing a couple numbers that I haven't seen here before, who seem to be in quite small for wearing ineligible numbers. So I imagine they're the DBs who have got the jerseys that are left over.
Well, let's see if they can get one more here before halftime. Make this nice and safe. And then as you get up, if you can get 3-4 scores in the first half, you might be looking at that running clock starting in the second half. I think it's 35 you got to get to.
35 for Mercy Rule, indeed.
High kick, collected. Tom Bell on the return. He finds a way to turn the corner of it a little bit. Got a wall in front of him, but he's got to be cut through, dropped. Rams take him down at about the 35, 36-yard line. And that's where the Romans will start their next drive, looking for their first points of the afternoon.
We'll see this Rams defense come out again. They'll be hoping to once again make it a 3-and-out. I think they've only given up, one first down so far today. So they'll be wanting to keep on with not being on the field for very long, keeping everyone fresh. They're not having to deal with long drives. They're rotating quite well. So you want to keep everyone fresh and keep them 100%. So at the end of the game, they feel like you can go again.
It's always a lovely feeling, isn't it? Romans back to pass. They go for the screen. That's going to be, that honestly could have gone for something had that been completed, because the Romans did a pretty good job of cleaning that up. But that's going to go off the helmet and fall for incomplete.
Nat Derrick on that play, he was off his man, and then at the last second came down to press, which made him in the perfect position to take on the block from the other wide receiver there. Even if Six had caught that ball, if he had caught it and tried to get away, there was 2 men directly there, and Nat Wise had already pushed off his block. Nat Derrick, sorry.
Trying to find who this is 35 here.
Robbie Green.
Robbie Green did really well to come down on that play late. Romans go over the middle. That's going to be incomplete. could see what he was looking for, but both of his eligible receivers had kind of stopped their feet by the time he threw. I think the timing was a little bit off on that play.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be anyone in the area where he threw it. There was someone nearby, but it wasn't quite at the same time. I'm not sure whether it's a matter of misreading the distance or perhaps hello Siri, perhaps the wind picked up the ball a little bit and stopped it because it is blowing in the opposite direction.
3rd and 10 for the Romans. Let's see what they can cook up here. They go out of the spread 2-by-2. Rams DBs backed off at about 6 or 7 yards. Timeout called by the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to talk about this one a little bit. Talk me through this defensively on this, with this kind of play, because 3rd and 10, obviously you're thinking pass, right? And so you can see all the DBs backed up at about 5 to 7 yards, except for the safety that was a little bit deeper. What kind of coverages are you looking for? What do the Rams like to play in this type of situation?
Unfortunately for me, as much as I know the defensive playbook, the back end isn't fantastic for me. But what you'd want is you want to cover up those deeps. Obviously, it's 10 yards. You know where the sticks are. You know how they want to get it. A lot of the times in a 3rd and 10 kind of situation, you're not going to go for the bomb to get the touchdown. You're going to go for, hey, we just need to get the first down and we can reset. So I imagine the DBs will pop themselves at the sticks, not let anything get past them, but keep everything underneath. Looking at a cover 3 or a cover 4 to have the added defensive back at the back to keep things in front of you. I wouldn't imagine we'd see much press on this play.
The press can throw off the timing a little bit. I mean, yeah, it gives you that possibility potentially being beat deep, but I imagine you just want to get it, your corners and maybe one of your safeties just plant along that about 10-yard boundary and just sit there waiting for a play of about that distance. Screen. Freddie's calling screen here to the near side trips. Let's see if it's right. 3rd and 10 for the Romans out of the timeout.
I was wrong.
He rolls to his right. Richmond looking inside. Batted away. No doing there. Good defensive play for Harry Anker.
That was a great play there by the safety. He came from the opposite side of the field. He's the right side deep safety, it looked like on that play. Made his way across, broke up the pass. Playing man. You know what? It's what realistically though, 3rd down. It's more of this defense. It's a palm, so it's pattern match. So it depends. Obviously, he might not have been originally in man's, but based on what the route was that he ran, he had to stick with him.
They're gonna have to break pattern match.
Pattern match.
What's that?
A pattern match. So
let's talk about it after this punt.
No
high
problem.
Punt. Rod's gonna let that one bounce because that one was about 3 stories in the air. That was a super high punt. And the Rams down it at the 20-yard line. That's where they'll take over 1st and 10. So pattern match. Talk to me about that on defense.
So a pattern match is you'll have your starting spot, who you're lined up over, and then there'll be a set of rules dependent on what you're doing. So if he goes on a streak, do you stay with him or do you pass him off based on what the next wide receiver does? So if 1 goes on a streak and 2 goes on an out, you will have a rule that says either you crash or you stay with your man. That's how a lot of the defense of the Rams works. Is a lot of pattern matching. And it isn't a matter of, I've got this deep zone, I've got this flat. Yes, you might, but also you need to make sure you know where you need to be, because there's a chance that the wide receiver does something else and you're in the wrong position. So it's a way of keeping it more under wraps and giving it individual responsibilities instead of being if 3 people run into a zone, you got 3 on 1.
Rams come out looking deep. That is thrown really deep by Rojas. His receiver had stopped his feet. I don't think he thought he could throw that far. Overthrown on that one. But I like to see that they came out with something different there. They had the running back come up out of the formation on the motion to draw the attention to the out route, trying to pop something deep. Rojas, I think, decided he wanted to pull the trigger a little late, and it falls incomplete.
I was thinking he was going to take it off. There was a lot of space. Ooh, it's windy. There was a lot of space on his left. I thought he was going to take off and go. Instead, he opts for the pass. But we know Mikey, if he gets that opportunity again, sees that much space, he's just going to let go and go.
Left tackle has been replaced. Southwell out. Robbie
Strutton.
I was going to say
Rob Strutton.
That's right. Rob Strutton in to replace at left tackle.
York St. John's player.
Now they go back to the run game. Snat Wise on the carry. That's for a gain of 5 or 6, bringing up a manageable 3rd down for the Rams. It's always a tough one when one of your linemen goes out, especially this offensive line that has so much cohesion for the Rams. Same players playing together year after year. But they do pretty well at bringing in somebody when they need to cover up for somebody who comes out due to injury.
Well, it's one of those things. Thomas is Southey is a big boy. He takes up a lot of space, and you're like, oh, what can we replace him with? Oh, I know, someone who's 6'8", 6'9".
He's not 6'9".
He's nearly. He's getting there.
He's not taller than Michael Jordan. There's no way.
He could be. I've never stood next to Michael Jordan, but I've stood next to Rob, and he's very tall.
Snap nearly too high. Rojas finds a way to get it to his running back, and thank goodness he does because he's going to break a couple tackles and drag a couple people for the first down, gain of 7. Rams ticking over on a new set of downs.
He's a young lad. Is Rob? He's only he was still at university this year, so he's not at the same age as most of the other offensive line. But I'll tell you what he does have. He has a long reach.
It's his 3rd year now playing for the Rams, isn't
It is, yeah. 3rd year playing for the Rams. Often the second string, but very often he's the first rotation. When someone goes down, he'll go in, and he's just so long. His arms reach his knees when he stood up straight. It's crazy.
Yeah, really long. Rams offset tight end near side. See what they can do here before halftime. Rojas takes the snap, looks to his right, wants to go deep, checks down, sideline, catch. Gain of 4 and out of bounds for the Rams. 2nd down.
It almost looked like the Romans were in prevent defense there. There wasn't much of a pass rush. The offensive line just had to stand there. There wasn't many rushing, and everyone else seemed to just be going into their zones. So Mikey had to take an underneath throw, and
But
we'll take that many
you'll
yards.
take that because if you can use your pass game a little bit like the run game, easy completions, ticks the ball forward 4 or 5 yards. They don't all need to be beaters.
No.
Nice to see him take the check down there. They stay with the offset tight end to the wide side. See if they use that part of the field. James Hudson steps up for the Romans there. Tries to take him down for the backside. Misses the tackle. And that's going to rumble forward for near a first down.
I think they might give it. Teo Sandow
yes,
there with
they
the
do.
run.
Clock stops to move the chains.
It's first down.
I like what the Rams are doing here so far. It's a good mix of run and pass. I think they are keeping the Romans on their heels pretty well. But I will say that I think the one thing that's really killing the Romans so far is I know the Rams are tough to tackle, but their tackling hasn't been great. There's been a lot of extra yards gained after contact. So
Well, the big pass that we had earlier to Liam, number 7, tried to make a tackle and didn't use his arms, just used his body. Better use of his arms there by number 7.
Nice run there on the jet sweep coming across the formation. That's Fish Hassan. Ran hard there, tucked in behind the line. You don't often see him run a play like that. Did it really well. Gain of 4.
I think the Romans will be a little bit disappointed there. It seemed that the ball seemed to be ripped out and bounce inbounds and picked up by a Romans defensive player.
That was actually happening about six yards or so still inbounds. The defensive player was going for the rip, and Fish, I think, sort of flattened himself out to get out of bounds because he could feel it almost coming. But it was a good defensive.
It was very close.
Yeah, good defensive rip. Now they got trips to the near side, offset tight end. They go middle again. There's JVD making people miss. Can he keep going? Yes, dragging people. Look at the determination on that one. My goodness, that is a gain of 15 the hard way.
That was a very good run, very strong, great blocking up front to just continue walking it down the field. It felt like a rugby maul there, just being inside it and just a big, massive bodies making their way up the field towards the end zone.
Near the end, he sort of like did an aggressive rip, like he was like, "Get off of me!" Like I need to run. Like it was really aggressive running. Winds the shoulder a little bit. Maybe took a little knock on that last play. Timeout Romans on this one on first down. Interesting. But I think they want to just shore up that defense, make sure they don't give up any more before the end of the half.
Couple successful plays there for the Rams. So they'll just want to pause, give their guys a bit of a break, tell them what they're seeing, and go forward with it.
Just got the call from the official. 4:26 left to play in the second quarter. Plenty of time for the Rams to put one more in. I think what the Rams really want here is the Romans really need is a turnover.
Yeah.
Like they really they're hunting the ball, but they really need to make that aggressive play here down near the red zone.
They need something to swing that momentum. As we said in the last game, momentum is a fickle beast. All it takes is that one thing to go the other way, and suddenly you're on the back foot. I look back at the Rams versus Newcastle Vikings game. The Vikings for the first half were dominant. They were up big. And in the second half, the Rams just shut it down. You couldn't get through, and the Rams started to bring it back. Unfortunately, these games, they do have a time limit. You can't play forever to come back. But they were well on their way to coming back and taking the lead. While we have a bit of a break for this timeout, today's Yorkshire Rams coverage is supported by ASOM, Awesome, a brand focused on making everyday life more straightforward. From home and garden fitness and training equipment, Awesome offers practical, good value products that support busy, active lifestyles in a simple approach built around convenience, reliability, and getting the job done properly. Values that reflect what this Rams offense is all about.
Oh, way to bring it back there at the end. Nice and done. First and 10 for the Rams after the big run. Let's see what they do. They go play action. Rojas drops back, looks deep. No, he goes sideline, just out of the reach of the receiver.
It's Adam Woodall.
Adam Woodall, he slowed down at the top of his cut. I think he thought Rojas was going to go deep, and he just didn't stay on that high rate of speed out of the cut, and he was behind it by a yard. Good throw from Rojas.
That's another pass to Adam Woodall by Rojas that should have really got there. He had to lay out for it. The one before was slightly overthrown. They'll still be trying to get their connection today, and based on the space that Adam's making and how far Mikey can throw it, if that connection starts to come good, I think we're going to get a couple more from that number 87 today.
That sail route, that 10 and out is there nearly every time against this coverage, especially you see the corners are backed off 7, 8, 9 yards. Now back to the middle. JBD dragging again. Both the ends came around and crashed him, and he just kept going, and he turns that into 5 yards.
They're tackling quite high, Chester. They're getting there, but they're trying to tackle with their arms, and they're trying to tackle around the shoulder pads. It's a bit of a more difficult one to tackle someone down when you're trying to take their entire body weight from the top. But if you take them at the knees, they'll go down. So Chester really need to be tackling lower than where they are currently. Yorkshire Rams coming out. Trey to the right, offset tight end. Matt Fox is in at tight end now, having moved from linebacker last season. Seems to be playing a bit more of that H role.
They go on 2, no jump, counter, middle. There was room, but I think the pole was just out in front. Foxy comes in there, and I think the defender made a good play coming behind the block. I'm not sure if Foxy saw him on the pole.
It was a good play by the defense, and you know what? 2 plays ago, I said you need to make sure you're tackling around the legs, and that's what we saw there by Shunsuke Hayashi coming through and just taking him at the knees.
You just wanted to flex that you could say that name, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's good. 4th and short for the Rams. Last time they were in this situation, they went QB sneak. Let's see if Rojas walks up again. And that's going to be a timeout for the Romans. It's going to be their last one of the half. They really don't want to give this up. You can see why. This is a really big swing point of the game. If you can make a stand here, give yourself a couple of minutes to try to put something together going back the other way. I don't know how to really stop the QB sneak. Really. I think what you got to do is don't play the nose tackles man up.
Put them in the gaps.
You put them in the gaps.
Yep.
And then you let the linebackers come right
man
behind
up on
them.
The center.
And take away the guard, center, and guard.
Well, the best way to do it is to submarine. Yeah. So you send the front line, they cut down the O-line, they come over, as long as it's your first move, completely legal, and the linebackers go over the top. That's how you stop it.
Yeah.
You go through the knees of the O-line, you go over the top. Obviously, I don't want that to happen to our O-line. That's not an enjoyable experience. We played against Sheffield a couple of years ago, and that was our entire game plan. They played a very tight formation, no wide receivers, everyone behind the tackles, and all we did all game was just cut. Well, chop at the legs of the offensive line and just have our linebackers jump over the top, and it was a successful day. And that's
not a pretty one.
No, but a successful one. And that's what the defense has got to do here. You've got to come up with a way of negating the offensive line. If you can negate the offensive line, you negate the sneak.
If it were me here,
but they're a bunch of big boys.
If it were for me here, I don't go on the walk up. I just go quickly, like right after the referee blows his whistle. Up, snap, go. Don't give them time to settle into it.
I think it'll be a freeze.
Rams 4th and short. Big turning point here for the game. About 3 minutes left in the half. Rojas under center. Roman's expecting it. Hard count. Outside pitch. Yuri tries to turn a corner. He only needs one. He does. He breaks the tackle. And he's looking for more. Gets out to about the 10-yard line before he steps out. a good hard run, and thank goodness he broke that tackle because that was nearly a lovely play on the outside from Mike Henderson for the Romans. Just couldn't wrap him up around the ankles.
He's got some contact balance. Does Yuri Pena? He runs hard, he runs low, and he just you saw it there on the far sideline. He smacks people about.
It's really hard to bring down, and I think that's what the Rams need to complement this really aggressive offensive line. Is you want people running behind you with purpose. You don't want people who are kind of waiting for things to develop. You just want somebody there hitting the hole right when it's open.
Marshawn Lynch,
Very
Derrick
much.
Henry,
Yeah.
big bodies. We're not looking for Tony Pollard's little boys.
Oh, Tony.
I like Tony. To be fair, last game I did say Teo reminds me of Tony Pollard and Tavon Austin.
Matt Fox in motion. Rojas with the give. Nat
Wise.
Wise. Carry. Gain of 4. Rams to about the 6-yard line. It looks like they can still get a first down. Potentially. I think they're starting this one at about the 11.
And that's what you want. You want to get that first down and then have 4 goes from the goal line. 2-minute warning, I think.
They have wound this clock down on the drive. Rams feel like they've been out there. They've had a lot of longer drives. Done really well to kind of keep it all grinding. 2-minute warning. Rams still with all their timeouts for the half.
While we have this break, to remind you, our stream is sponsored by Hollands Hills Cars, Awesome, and O'Neill's Leads. 3 companies that we are having a pleasure of working with.
Let's see if that sponsor read can give a touchdown. Rams come out in a different formation here. They got a quad bunch to the near side. 3 receivers and a tight end. Single receiver far side. They go to the near side. They go on the pitch. A little bit out in the air. Collected, but the play was behind. Rojas is rolling around back there. I think he may have taken a lick on that one as he was trying to get the pitch off, trying to get himself up off the turf. I've been there before. And it's you don't want to come off the field, but you do need a second.
Well, Rams have 3 timeouts, but the refs will take.
Rams take a timeout.
Oh, it looks like Rams did.
I think they're going to do that to give Rojas a minute rather than having to take him off the field.
Absolutely.
I think that's a smart call by head coach Dorian Divix. 3rd year with the Rams? 3rd year as the head coach.
He's, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, he was... No.
2nd year.
2nd year as a head coach, I think.
No, this is 3rd.
3rd year.
Yeah, because
Ruby's nodding.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with Ruby on this.
Yeah.
I don't know that much.
And the Rams have had a good run,
Yeah.
looking to kind of break that curse. They've been to the semifinal a couple of years in a row, but they keep recruiting. You keep seeing a lot of people on this sideline who are all going to get a little run today.
Keeps growing and growing and growing. There's faces down here. I recognise number 88, Robin Bowers. He plays for Leeds Beckett University. Down here as well, number 70, Archie Banji, used to play for the York Centurions, was a Scunthorpe Alpha last year. You look around this sideline and there's players that weren't here last year that really have added some quality and depth to this lineup. And you need both. You need good quality. You need good depth. You can't get by having a good set of starters and then it falls off instantly. You need quality at every position and the whole way down the depth chart.
Rojas does stay out there, gritting it through. 2nd and 8 for the Rams from the 9-yard line. Trips near side.
I bet Mikey wears a rib plate next time.
I never played with one of those. A lot of room out there with that corner backed off on the far side there. Let's see if they go to the air. They motion that way. Man, across the formation. He does look right, and there's wide open on the out route. Can he find the end zone? He dips, he dunks, and he gets down to about the 3-yard line, taken down inbounds. Clock keeps rolling. And I think that throw was just a smidge late. I think if that throw was a little bit earlier, he probably trots into the end zone. It was a good route.
I felt that coming as he goes across off the line. I recognize that play from our time last year on the offense, having the wide receiver go all the way across, then run that quick out. And in the words of a very good movie, he dipped, he dived, and he dodged all those tackles. Because if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a Chester Roman.
You are on point today.
Oh, I'm
3rd
funny.
and goal for the Rams. Let's see what they do here. Up under center. Let's see if they go sneak. They do. Rojas shrugs the man off. See if he can get to the end zone. It's really close. He does! Touchdown Rams! Rojas from the 3 finds his way to the end zone the ugly way. And that's going to make the score 26.
26.
26. 26 nil.
Because the PAT was blocked.
Yeah, that's right. That was a really good drive for the Rams. That was a really good drive.
It was a very good drive.
It wasn't all that long, but took a lot of time off the clock. A lot of good plays in there, good hard running.
It takes us into halftime with a reasonable scoreline, but not the running clock to start. So, with an opportunity like this, you might see in the next half there isn't that kind of big plays to try and get the touchdowns. They might be going a bit more methodical on both sides of the ball to try and get those rotational players a bit more time on the field. And I say that, but the defense is coming out, and I know that Tyler Broad's going to get a pick and then run it in for 35.
Well, I mean, this is where it gets tough because you need points as the Romans, but you also are in a trap where the defense knows you're going to be chasing near the end of the half. How aggressive do you want to be? You don't want to be so unaggressive because the Rams still have 2 timeouts that you give the ball back. You need a couple of first downs.
Yep.
Start there.
A couple of first downs and hopefully some score, some points would be ideal for going into halftime. But as we've said previously, that they haven't really looked all that threatening at times. They've had their good plays and they've made some plays. They've got out big catches. There's people on good routes, but the balls just aren't making it there. The runs are just not quite getting through the defensive line. But that isn't to say that it can't come from anywhere. All it takes is one play.
I think the hard thing for the Romans is they're having a tough time slowing down the Rams' run game, and when you struggle to do that, you're not really going to slow down the Rams.
No.
They got to tackle better in the second half for sure.
Bit of a delay on the kickoff.
I think they had an extra man on, or they subbed somebody out.
I think someone switched but didn't know they were being switched.
Yeah. Classic special teams. Kick away, short and high again, collected at about the 18-yard line by somebody who's not very comfortable taking that from the looks of things. I think that was Aaron Powell, who normally plays receiver. He did not look very comfortable taking that. I think he looked almost shovel it to somebody.
From that spot, he's a big boy. You imagine he's more often than not
He's
the
a
lead blocker. And he gets the ball, and the 2 people to get out in front to block him stood behind. That's the difficulty of when you go that short. You know, it's not an onside, so there isn't people there. You've put it in an area where the people who can get out in front are stood behind you, and that makes everything all that little bit more difficult.
About a minute and a half here left in the half. See how aggressive the Romans want to be. Rams in their 4-3 cover 2. Go middle. Bell on the carry, and he's going to be hit really hard.
Tyler Broad.
By Tyler Broad coming up from the safety spot. As soon as he identifies run, he comes downhill in a hurry.
He really does. That man is a machine. And just so nice.
He's lovely.
He's such a lovely nice person.
He's got his afro grown out.
Oh, it looks great. Far. Last game he had it in the cornrows, and I thought that looked pretty badass too.
He says he's been growing it for a year.
He'll get to where I am at some point.
Someday.
One day. While we've got a bit of a break, comments coming in. Tyler Broad is so cool. Perfect timing for that. The dream commentary team coming from Connor Cameron Pullen, a Leeds Beckett student, but also the photographer for the Chester Romans. So a bit of a tear there. And then we've got a comment from Sam Bloomfield. This game is screaming for more Dan Hayward.
Oh, that's every game.
Former Manchester Titans QB there, and UClan head coach.
And that's going to be halftime. A couple of plays, let the clock run out. Halftime. We're going to step away for halftime. We'll be back. We'll put the hold screen up, but please be back with us. We'll be back in about 10 to 12 minutes for live coverage from the second half. I'm Taylor Hudmond alongside Freddie Loach. This is Rams Football.
Brought to you by Awesome, O'Neill's Leeds, and Holland Hills Cars. Welcome back to the second half of the Yorkshire Rams versus Chester Romans. We've just kicked off. Switch at the back. Nat Darrick with a big return. Taken out on the sideline.
Nifty play there for the Rams to start.
Something I haven't seen before by this Rams team. Something I've been asking for a couple of years. So it's nice to see.
27-0 to the Rams to start this second half. Very dominant in the first half. A couple of big plays that really helped them out, but mainly it was a really good effort through the running game, mixed in with a couple of very timely passes. Rojas with 2 passing touchdowns in the first half, 1 added on the run, on the QB sneak, and then 1 tacked off from Yuri
Pena.
Yuri Pena. That's it, as well. So right now, Rams up 4 scores. Looking to add more here on the first drive of the second half. Starters to start the game: Michael Rojas in the backfield, Nat Wise, running back. Snap coming from Eden Fay. Bobbled snap. Recovered though. But he just tries to get as much as he can. Rojas will take the loss of 2, but keep possession of the ball. I think that one just went right through his hands.
Yeah, I just don't think it was set right in his hands to be able to hand it off there. I don't think he wanted to keep it, but if you're going to keep it, get what you can. Unfortunately, that was minus a yard or 2.
Looks like Tom Southwell still not back out there on the pitch at left tackle, so Rob Strutton continues his duties there.
Unfortunately, Tom Southwell is on the sideline unkitted currently, so I don't think we'll be seeing him coming back into the game today.
Good day for Rob to get some work.
Absolutely.
Here's that bunch formation again. 4 Rams bunch, top of the formation. Pass. looks right, scrambles. He's got Hudson on his tail. He dumps it off to Snell. Snell with the collection for a gain of about 7. And with the loss on the previous play, that'll bring up 3rd and about 5.
That was a really good play by the defensive end there. James Hudson putting pressure on Mikey Rojas, the QB, but he sensed the pressure. He escaped. He was able to use his wide receiver running across the field and just
All the
pass
way
it off.
across. It is a single receiver back to that near side away from the bunch.
Just running that drag.
Dragging all the way across the field, making himself available, and giving the Rams a chance here on 3rd down. Let's call it 3rd and 6. Let's see what they come up with here. Haywood to the near side. Hassan next to him. Give, middle, Wise. Looks for yards. He's met right at about the 1st down marker, and I think he rolled forward just enough. He did.
First down.
It's going to be a 1st down for the Rams. Good mix of run and pass. And you can see it there. I mean, it was a 6 yards to get to the sticks, and Wise wasn't touched until 5 yards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's all credit to the offensive line for creating that kind of space.
I'm sure the running backs, when they play for the Yorkshire Rams, feel like Moses parting the Red Sea every time they get the ball. And it's open. There we go.
Now they come back with trips to the near side. Fred Jones inside, that tight end. Sometimes he's with the line, sometimes he's off. And now he comes back for the screen. Fish bobbles. Can he make the catch? He does. Makes a man miss. Now he tries to gain yards. Is able to get a couple out of that. Made that look theatrical. And did pretty well to get upfield and get some yards there. I think that was Toby Dixon who had the tackle for the Romans.
Yeah, I'm just watching Steve Godwin at the minute. He seems to have come up a little bit limp on that last play. Hoping it's not too much of too big of an injury. I know we don't have the most depth at O-line. I look along the sideline. I'm seeing one person in the lineman lounge. So if another member of this O-line goes down, we'll have to work out where we go from there.
2nd and 7 for the Rams. Twins to the far side. Snell, single side here. Rojas. Snap, give, counter. Yuri Pena looks for work. And he's upfield for a gain of 4 quicker than I even saw him.
No,
he runs right so low. I saw him get the ball, and then he popped out 4 yards later.
Disappears behind that towering O-line.
3rd and 3 for the Rams. Pena's a good runner. I mean, especially when you miss. They have a couple of running backs on this roster falling off. John Bell Davis moved away. You have to find Elliott Jackson out with a shoulder injury, your top 2 running backs. But there's 2-3 more guys here on the Rams roster that can get you yards.
But JBD, he leaves. We replace him with another JBD.
That's true. Here we go. Pena, 3rd down. Jones across the formation. They go back against it. Hudson can't make the tackle. Pena with steam, breaks tackles through 4 defenders, and is finally wrapped up and brought down after a gain of 15.
I think if I wore the amount of Under Armour that Yuri wore, I'd also feel completely invincible. He's got that undershirt with padding on the arms, the forearms, the elbows, the legs. He's got padding everywhere. He must feel like a bomb defusal agent with the amount of coverage he's got on him. But if it helps him run like that, he could wear a suit of armor and I wouldn't care.
Rory Mansfield made that tackle for the Romans. He's normally an offensive slot receiver, so a couple guys going both ways now for the Romans. Rams 1st and 10. Yuri Pena, again, arms on him almost immediately. Doesn't matter. He still finds a way to get 3 or 4 yards. They're sending Hudson very hard for the backside, number 4 for the Romans nearly every time. And he's getting there and making a menace, not making a lot of plays, but because he's so downhill, I think there might be some aggressive way to go after him.
Unless he's the read man. He seems to be the read man at the minute.
Yeah, with that 3-4, if the defensive end is playing on the inside, playing more of a 4-5 tech against the left tackle. We'll have to see, though. I mean, that's a good read because he is so focused on getting the running back. JBD now in. Rams change out. 2nd and 8. Rojas claps. Snap. Looks. Goes deep. He's got Snell. We're going to one-on-one. There's a little push, but a catch and a touchdown. Rams from 25 yards out. Rojas to Snell for the touchdown.
And a good block there on the left side by Rob Strutton on James Hudson, like you were just saying there. He was getting the rush, but Rob took his outside step and held on to him, giving Rojas enough time to get that pass off to Matt Snell for
And
his second of the day.
it was one of my favorite plays as a quarterback, too. You don't need a lot of time. It's almost in and out of your hands because he saw the one-on-one coverage, no safety help coming over there, and he just put it out there. It was catch. It's almost like a fadeaway in basketball. Just put it up there
Yeah.
and watch it go. And Snell was right there for the score. Great hands. There was a bit of a push-off, I have to say. If the refs were being a little more picky, I think Snell was a little egregious in how he pushed off the corner there to create space.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'd have called OPI on that, to be fair.
But if it's not called, it's legal. And
Yep.
the Rams get another score. That'll take the score to 34-0.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
But no running clock just yet.
Yeah. The Chester Romans, having blocked that kick earlier, they've given themselves this opportunity for it not to be into running clock quite yet.
And they did. So with Hudson so far up on that side, and not, he's playing that outside linebacker spot, there's nothing to help anything in that one-on-one situation. And I think it was Josh Walden on that coverage over there. And just, he lost the first step. And as soon as you're behind, that quarterback throws it early. Not much you can do there except for really hope and pray that they don't catch it.
And when I was looking at that matchup of Matt Snell, but with that DB, and he towers over him. All it was, he has to put it a foot above the head of that DB, and Matt's going to get up and get that.
Now the Rams go hunting for more. New kicker in, Trish Sakar, who normally handles the kicking duties, has stepped aside.
Robbie Green's in again.
Robbie Green into kick.
Saw his kicks last game as well.
Against the wind here. Puts a boomer in, though. Down the left side, collected about the 10. Bell on the return. Finds a host of Rams, is brought down. A lot of people there to take him down. I see Ibby down there. Trying to pick out some numbers. Duro, a lot of people in on that tackle.
Robin Bowers. Liam Calvert again. It's impressive to have depth at kicker.
It is. That is not something that teams normally have in this league. Rams up 34-0. Romans come out on their first possession of the second half. Start hands on hips. They're a tired team. They look a little tired.
Chester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Powell across the formation. Snap. Up the middle. Nothing there. Wrapped up almost as soon as he tried to get through. And there's that man. Can't stop him today. Waz Lowish. Playing that strong side defensive end to a beauty today.
It's what you want from your end. If they can make a tackle in the middle, they're going to make the tackle at their position. So it's a good play. Just getting off that offensive tackle. He was quite high up, to be fair.
Passing situation. Let's see what the Rams can do. Strong rough from Ari Joba, but it's a complete pass out to the near sideline. Powell with the catch. We'll call that a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 8. I tell you what, watching, he hasn't had a whole lot of action, like tackle save, but that Faith Ari Joba coming off the edge, he is
fast.
Quick. He puts the quarterback under pressure quickly.
He does. He plays that joker position. That's the position I played last season. It's pretty much a pure pass rusher, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to be the read if it's a read option. So you've just got to get upfield and make sure no one comes back your way. You might not do a whole lot, but
3rd and 8. Richmond to the air, goes deep, Braun on coverage, and that one's going to be incomplete. Good work there from the Rams defense. I believe that was Rory Mansfield out for the pass on the reception there. But Broad playing that safety spot, came up, put a body on him. Not a whole lot he could do.
Not a whole lot you can do in that scenario at all.
When you get to the top of that break against a player like that, you got to be really strong.
Yeah.
Hold that off because he's allowed to do that as long as he's not getting there too early. But Romans, 4th down here, going for it, 4th and 8. They call timeout. I think they just wanted to see if the Rams could get set, maybe try to get a quick one off, but they don't. And they'll call the timeout here.
Well, we go after this timeout by the Chester Romans. We're going to have the Yorkshire Rams defense continuing here. It looks like they're bringing out the punt unit. We'll be looking for Tyler Broad to get another one of those really strong returns like he had last time. Hopefully breaks it a bit more open this time. But you've just got to hope for those blocks to stay on and he'll get upfield. I know when I was playing on this defense, I absolutely loved blocking for Tyler because he always switches his direction, so you've got time to hit someone who isn't quite looking, turns at the last minute, and you're able to put them on the floor, and Tyler can return for this punt. Let's listen again. Let's talk about our sponsors. We're sponsored by O'Neill's today, supported by O'Neill's, a well-known spot for Rams supporters to come together. We're also sponsored by Hollins Hills Card. Hollins Hills Cards. We thank them for the continued support of the Yorkshire Rams. Ball's gone. Tyler's got it. Returns upfield. Almost runs into his own man. Takes off the tackler. Almost tackled again. Bunch of Romans come in. Unfortunately, not many yards on there. And finally, Awesome. We'd like to thank them. This drive coming up for the offense is sponsored by Awesome. Practical, reliable, and built for everyday performance. We've now got this Yorkshire Rams offense coming out with a score at 34-0. Their next score, any next score for the Rams, special teams, defense, or offense will mean that we're into the mercy rule and rolling clock scenario. So I'm sure the Rams will be hoping to get to that point, get done early, and get themselves to O'Neill's.
Darn right. I could use a Guinness today.
Oh, I don't like Guinness, but I'll
not?
take a cider, yeah.
Oh, Murphy's too. Murphy's. What is your beer? What do you like?
I don't like beer.
Not at all?
I like cider. Or I like a whiskey.
Get me a Holston Pills any day. That's not even a joke. I love it. Rams come out. 2 receivers to the near side. Offset tight end far side along with a receiver as well. Rojas takes the snap. Back to pass. Looks over the middle. Now he wants it late. On the catch. Yes. Reception. Can he break it? No. He steps out of bounds at the 30-yard line. But beautiful piece of work there. Working across the formation for Ibi Sardar. Rojas finds him, and we're going to call that a gain of 40 on the reception.
I think the unfortunate thing with trying to do one of those spin moves there right on the sideline is you put that plant foot out to use the momentum to spin back on yourself. But unfortunately on this field, with how dusty it is, that can slip. So even if you think you're just on the sideline, it'll slip just out and that whistle will come in. But had that come off, that would have been a great move by Ibi. It would have been in the end zone, and we would have been in rubbing clock.
Rojas with tons of time to throw there. Let's see what they do here again on first down. They go to the ground. JBD, right side, on the counter. Going to run into a wall at about 5 yards, and that will be where he's taken down. 2nd and 5. They go the Rams offense. It's been very big plays today. You know, it's been, and they're not all on the ground. They've been really able to find that pass game with a little bit of consistency.
Yeah.
Mainly because I think, one, Rojas has been accurate, but he's also had time. He hasn't been pressured a whole lot today.
No, and even now we've got 2 tackles in who aren't our starters. Owen Burns seems to have rotated out as well. I'll get you the name for the player that's replaced him. But when you can get protection with your starters or your second strings, you're going to have a good day.
Now, Sadar in motion, right to left. Rojas snaps, looks that way. Now he comes back to the right. Nothing there. He's looking for Joey, come across the formation. Now he finds him late. Yes, that's going to be a first down. Taken out at the 16-yard line. Rojas again bought some time and found his man Joey McKinty coming across the formation, working all the way again from that backside spot. Everything on the right went to the left. Joey on the left went to the right. Rojas found it.
That man that's coming for Owen Byrne is Cameron Mayhead, new player to the team this year, coming in to get some rotational reps with so Owen can get some rest. Looks like we'll be rotating quite a lot with the linebackers too. As I look down and look at the coaches and who they're speaking to, they all seem to be speaking to their units, discussing rotations.
Man down on the far sideline, the Romans. Somebody's down over there after that play. And it's just put a little delay in proceedings as he's sort of right on the sideline. Can't start the next play just yet. I wish it was a little bit more like rugby, where you could just play around somebody who was there.
Yeah,
I found that really weird.
I mean, in rugby, at least, if you're a physio or a referee, you're on the field, you get accidentally ran into. No one's wearing, a very solid plastic helmet and pads. Whereas if you did that here, all it takes in rugby, everyone's running forward. In here, you got people running backwards, people running across the field. It doesn't matter where you are. There's a chance that you're going to get absolutely beamed by someone's helmet while you're trying to fix a knee.
It's a silly game, really.
And you don't want that. No one wants that.
1st and 10 for the Rams. McKinty, single receiver, far side, trips near side. Teo, running back. We come back for the screen. Sardar, can he cuck inside? No, he goes to the outside, drags a man, and he gets down to about the 5-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 15. 1st and goal for the Rams. Working the air game really well on this drive. Long, short, screens. I
Going
even saw
deep into the playbook, we've got another player down. That's Shunsuke.
Strutton did really well, the left tackle there, to get out. Now, Sadar did take the outside lane, but had he wanted to go back inside, I think the tackle was there just at about the right time to pick up that block.
Absolutely.
Injury down. Romans, we're trying to see who that is over there.
Shunsuke Hayashi. It's Shun again. He made the tackle on that play. I have a bit of a worry of what part of his body he used to make said tackle.
Which part?
One that would mean we would have to move the camera away if this is going to be a delayed kind of part. You never want to see someone go down with a head injury, potentially. But I'm not going to speculate that that's what it is. But the way he touched his helmet, just kind of sat back down without really moving, you do get a bit worried in these scenarios. So we hope for the best. Hopefully he'll be able to walk off the field under his own steam and own power.
What's the worst injury you've had?
The concussion's pretty harrowing.
Yeah, they are bad.
I did not like that.
Where did yours? Was it front or back of the head when you had yours?
Hexagon of the speed flex right to
right in the middle.
Right to the middle of my face cage on an onside kick.
Oof.
Head smashes off the floor. Thought I was fine, apart from the fact that I couldn't string a sentence together. I was then in a lecture the next morning, and I got asked, "What do I know about the relationship between business and sport?" And obviously, quite a bit, because I know a lot about. I know my fair share about sport, business, and sport. What do I know about it? A fair whack. When asked, I'm then trying to step. I felt like I was finding the words, putting them in front of me, and stepping on each word in order to create a sentence. And it was at that point when I realized after 15 minutes that I couldn't remember the question that was asked, and I'd written 2 sentences instead of 8 paragraphs, that I probably should go to the doctor. Other than that,
your brain was bruised.
It was bruised. Other than that, broke my leg playing for the Rams, broke my arm playing rugby. Yes, true. Subluxed shoulder coming out, but that one didn't take me out for any prolonged period because I was stupid and just anchored it into my body instead. What about you?
Don't know where to start. There's so many things. Let's watch the Rams first, then I'll get into my injury history. We don't have time. Let's see what they can do here. 2 receivers out to the far side. Offset tight end that way as well. Joe McKinty to the near side. They give middle on the counter, and that's going to go nowhere. Reuben Jones, the big nose tackle, the first man there, takes him down for a loss of 3, and that'll push them back to 2nd and goal from the 8.
Unfortunately, just not picked up in the middle there, the defensive tackle. I think we were trying to pull, but I just don't think the pull got there in time to block him. He was, for a big man, he was very fast off the ball.
Well, if you're pulling in the nose tackle, they're playing a 3-4, and that should be somebody picking up for a puller, and they just didn't get there. Maybe the tackle coming down. But let's see what they can do. Same formation. Rojas puts a man in motion, right to left. Snap. He looks that way. He wants the end zone. Now he has to move. On the run. Fires. Oh, just off the hands of Joey McKinty. I think he heard footsteps off the fingertips.
That was, again, a good escape by Rojas there. He saw the pressure coming, was able to scramble out and get away. Just got the fingertips on his shoulder pad, but I don't think that affected the throw too much. It was good, but he was having to throw over helmets moving in both directions across the field there. Good placement. Unfortunate for Joey for it to just bounce off his hands.
And I like watching Rojas, maybe because as I play quarterback, he reminds me a bit of myself. He can run, but his eyes are downfield. Like when he's out of the pocket, he's not looking immediately to tuck and run. He is scanning downfield, trying to find a man. It's really paid off here so far.
It's really good quarterback play. You do, in Britball, you do see those players that just take the ball and go.
Yep.
But he can, but doesn't feel he has to.
Now we go running back in motion, running that flat. And now they go design quarterback run, middle. Rojas looking for the end zone. Is he going to get there? It's close. He stood up at the goal line, didn't quite get in. Ball came loose near the end. I don't think that's going to change possession, though. And we're going to be 4th and goal from the 1.
Looks like it.
Do you kick the field goal here?
No, no. Personally, at that close, you're pretty much on the goal line. Just take the 7, take the 6, and if you don't get it,
turn it over at the
safety.
1. Yeah.
As if by magic, though, we talk about Mikey Rojas and his wheels,
Yeah.
and the next play, design QB run.
That was a nice little play, a good wrinkle on that, because I think we saw the running back go out and expected the pass. Now, Rojas looking for his patented QB sneak, makes his calls. What's he going to do here? He goes up the middle. Is he going to make it? It's a maul, waiting for a call, waiting for a signal. Refs have to sort that out. I think he's in. He definitely got forward momentum from the one. Waiting for a call. That's a touchdown.
And there we go.
Rojas again on the QB sneak. And that's going to take the Rams to 40-0. Good work, good drive. And another touchdown.
Absolutely fantastic. Now we'll be in the running clock. Mercy rule, the clock will run the whole time unless it is a referee's timeout or a team timeout.
Another good drive, good mix of running pass. They're trying different things. It's working out. You couldn't tell that this game is being called from the sideline by the guy who's normally the defensive coordinator.
No,
It's been a good call of the game from Dorian.
no, it's good. It's
Kick
good.
is up and good.
It's good to see. My question at the end will be whether he enjoyed himself or not.
No, he hated every second of it.
Yeah, I can imagine calling offensive plays. But tell you what, a defensive coordinator looking at a defense and going, I think I know how to beat
I
that.
think I could carve that up.
Yep, it's pretty good. They know what they're looking for because they go, right, if I set out this formation, how would I set up against it?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that. You go, okay, this will win. It's a good way to do it, to be fair. So credit to Dorian for stepping up and needing to do that. He has other options on his coaching staff, but I think it says a lot that he wants to take that himself and put that responsibility on his shoulders.
He's a good coach.
The buck stops with him.
He's a really good coach. And I think we had a question here from our producer. I think there used to be an offensive coach. I think he's always been defense. He was a safeties coach.
I think there may have been a period of time when he was at the Bobcats when they had a low amount of coaches that there's a chance that he may have done. But off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure. I was never a Bobcat myself, neither was yourself. I'm sure someone will be able to give us an answer if we can get them to come close to the tower.
I get why the Rams and the Bobcats had to merge, and it's been great. But when I played for the Rams playing the Bobcats, those games were always really intense, really fun.
There's a lot of the teams around here, the games are intense against them. If we play Wakefield, that's an intense game. Doncaster's an intense game. Leeds was an intense game.
Bell on the return, looking for room on the left side. Hesitates. Now he tries to turn a corner. Breaks a couple of tackles. And the Rams do catch up, though. Good chase down from the backside. They take him down at about the 40-yard line. I think that's where the Romans will take over.
Robin Bowers there on the tackle, number 88, wide receiver.
Is that the first time the Romans have been across midfield?
I think it may be. I think there's a chance.
I don't want to speak out of turn.
I'm not sure whether the first down brought us over midfield due to with the offside.
Either way, the Rams have played stout defense today.
Absolutely.
Starters remain out there for the most part for the Rams. Linebacking core changes a little bit.
Alex Wells is in at linebacker. Archie Banji's in it. Cornerback.
Pass comes near side. Got the curl again, but again, goes nowhere. Gets about 3 yards on the reception.
Good play there by Robbie and Archie.
Ollie Willett on the reception.
Both being there, ready to go.
I think they can run that a little deeper. They can get more yards because that's a second or third time they've completed that route. And Faye over here at cornerback is giving enough cushion, but I think they could probably push that to more like 6-7 rather than 3-4-5. That's what you did there.
I think with that screen, they tend to be putting the outside man.
Romans back to pass. Bell on the reception. Scampers forward. Gain of about 4, bringing up a 3rd and 3.
When they run that screen, they're putting the outside man on the line, which obviously means he's having to move backwards to do it. And then they're having the 2 inside men off the line, so they're having to move forward to get the block. Now, getting the momentum on the block is great, but if you're having to move back because they're having to move forward, it makes that slight disconnect. It's unfortunate.
Breaking it down geometry style. 3rd and 4 for the Romans. 2 receivers to the far side. They are looking out of the pistol formation now, but cornerback is very far back to be out of the pistol. But they go pass, they look for the screen, but they fake it, they go deep. Broad reads it. I don't even think he read it. He's just in the right place at the right time and comes up with the interception, and that's going to be a turnover. 1st down Rams.
We can't
Loud whistle It changed possession. Oh, that's the end of quarter there. That interception marks the end of the quarter. And what a great time to bring up our sponsor, Awesome, because that was an awesome play. I have to say, abroad, he got turned around. He had two receivers coming right at him. His head was looking at the outside receiver. The ball was thrown to the inside receiver,
It just
but
fell
it was
into his hands.
overthrown. And as soon as he turned his head around, he was there for the ball. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah. You've got to be good to be lucky, but you've got to be lucky to be good.
I do have to say though that that's one of those where, as a quarterback, you probably should have found one of them. They had one defender against two open receivers, and overthrew it and went right into the hands of the receiver.
I
So
think
that,
what
go ahead.
I think one of those things where I think they were hoping that Tyler was going to stay more on the deep receiver and be able to allow number 14 to drift a bit and catch it.
Yeah.
But Tyler's such a good safety, he just stays
Well,
there.
he planted himself right between the two. He was sort of able to defend both because there wasn't great spacing.
Now, we've got to change our O-line again. We have Owen Byrne playing center.
This is something he used to do.
This is something I'm looking very much forward to seeing.
About 4 years ago, the Rams were playing triple option football, and Owen played center because he was very aggressive at B gap stuff, and he is a pretty damn good center in his own right. Good to see him back there. Rojas back to pass. He's got pressure in his face, and he underthrows that one. Good pressure in the face there on the pass.
Toby Hinchcliffe is also in at guard today. I mentioned him on the last stream. He's not the biggest guy, but his heart's the size of an elephant.
That sounds unhealthy. Chris Wright provided the pressure on that last play. And you can see, I mean, as you get different guys in on the O line, a little less time to throw on that one. Roman starters are still out there, but it's a good time to get some work. Let's see what they do here.
Looking at the Roman sideline, I'm not sure they have a lot of depth to
They
not
are
be doing
thin.
doing starters still.
So now Wise gets the carry. He's got some room, but that's going to be cut down quickly. He had a head of steam there, and I think one of the Romans players came up on the worst side of that contact.
I didn't like the way that Nat's legs bent then.
Cam Johnson on the tackle, combining with Toby Dixon. He gets up slow, but he looks okay. 3rd and 4. Clock keeps running. I think the Rams have picked up a few niggle injuries today. You can see quite a few of the guys walking around, starters with their pads off already, but maybe limping a little bit.
Yeah,
It's a tough part of the schedule. It's kind of game after game after game.
And this ground is hard.
It is.
It's been very hot here in Yorkshire this week. I'm sure it's been very hot everywhere this week. But when this ground is as hard as it is anyway, and then you add the fact that it's had no consistent water for a couple days or a couple weeks, it's going to be really tough and dusty.
That's not good. Yuri Pena on the tackle there. And then there is a Roman down in pain. I think that's Chris Wright, and he is holding his hip and his back. Speaking with somebody who's had some hip and back injuries, that looks really painful.
Yeah. I think whilst we have an injury that's including the spine, the back, the neck, potentially in the head, we'll take a little break, push the camera away, and we'll come back to you in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we already pushed it. Yeah.
And we're back. He's walked off under his mostly his own steam with a little bit of help from his teammates there.
I think I may have had the number wrong. I think that was Reuben Jones who was hurt there.
No, we're looking for
73?
number 95, Chris Wright.
Oh, it was Chris Wright.
73 came on with the water, I believe.
He was limping. It was hard to tell. Let's see what the Rams can do here. 1st and 10.
Trade to the left.
Yuri Pena next to Rojas in the backfield. Little check. Possibly pass here. Yes. Goes to the back shoulder. And I think that little tap on the hips, Rojas was trying to tell his receiver, Joey McKinty, that he wanted a comeback. and McKenzie didn't see it. They immediately kind of had that little exchange after the play. Those things happen. It's a tough one to see without words.
He also had a man in his face. There's not a lot you can do when you've
I'd
got.
say it's a good throw on a comeback, though. It was
Yeah,
right where it needed to
it
be.
would have been perfect had the communication been there. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But let's give the Chester Romans credit. That was some good pressure by number 54 there.
Is that Chris Smith?
Charlie Smith, I believe.
Smith, yeah.
I knew it was a CH and a Smith.
There's that bunch formation, quads bunch, tight to the left, or trips bunch.
Nasty bunch?
It is with Matt Fox in there. JBD takes the handoff. He's got a head of steam. He might break away. Nearly does. Brought down from behind at the 25-yard line, but he fumbled it. That's picked up by the Romans. I thought he was down. Oh, and that's going to be a horse collar on the backside. Tough one for the Rams to take. That was a great run by JBD. I'd love to. It's tough with the replay situation we have here. I'd like to see because that ball came out late.
Yeah, I'm not. Personally, it looked like it was down by contact touching the floor there, but we'll have to see what the referees say. The flag on the field will be due to the horse collar from Iago there on the tackle, Iago Castro. But we'll see what they call.
Waiting for him to sort it out. I don't think they're going to come back on the fumble. I think they've ruled that's a fumble for sure.
They have, yeah. We've got two offensive lines on the field right now. One of them's got to come off.
It's gotten colder as this game's gone along.
It has. As the day's gone on, the wind's picked up a little bit. I'm getting chillier. I didn't bring a hoodie. It's in my car.
I never go anywhere without one.
I don't go anywhere without one. It's just in my car.
Mm.
There's actually 3 in my car.
It's so unhelpful right now.
Change of clothes, waterproof jacket, a tray of cans. Like, my car's got it all in. What it doesn't have is a way of getting me my hoodie now. We're not in the future enough.
Let's see if the Romans can put one on the board. If they do score and bring it back under 35, does that take it? I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it takes us back, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's 35 points. I think it's a 35-point difference.
Spread. Yeah. Motion across the formation. They go heavy to the far side. Roll out. Uh-oh. He's got a man in his face. Can he get away? He does a good job. Gets it away and dropped at the very end. There's a lot happened on that one for Rory Mansfield to drop that one in the end. But I have to say, a really good job from Josh Richmond there. He was being chased, but found enough to get space and enough room to turn his hips and make a good throw.
Good pressure there by Eamon O'Doyle as well on this defensive end. A very, very nice amount of pressure, chasing around the backfield. It's one of those things where you can chase him down, you can put your full tilt into it, but you run the risk of getting a roughing if he throws it just at the right time. It's really difficult on one of those plays. I would take the hit.
Oh yeah.
But
short motion.
Something to consider each time.
Oh, a good catch and a good stick on the gain of 8 there for the Romans. That might have been one of their better looking plays on the day. Trying to see who that was on the reception. I think that was Rory Mansfield coming across again on the reception from Josh Richmond. Gain of 8.
I think that was. I can't see Tyler Broad on the field, so I think that was Harry Anker that came up and made that stop.
Good hard play, both sides. 3rd and 1. Let's see if the Romans can get a first down here. At the 29-yard line, they go pass. They look deep to the out route. He turns, he twists, but it's incomplete. That was supposed to be an out route. Then it turned into an out and up, and he just couldn't quite get there. Aaron Powell, the intended receiver.
That was close. That just went through his hands. If he'd caught that was a touchdown. So,
who was that over there? It's the safety 67. 67, the safety. That's the classic safety number that I always remember.
Well, this is what I've been saying.
There we go.
That's
4th down.
Rob Clift.
And they go to the air again. Back to that out route. Right at Clift. Clift falls down, but it is dropped. Powell can't believe it. Hands on face mask. He could have walked into the end zone, but he drops it. Turnover. Rams football.
Ouch. That Powell is an emotive guy. If he's the guy I'm remembering when we played at Chester last year, we were playing on defense and 3 consecutive plays in a row were ruled offside. And on the 3rd play, he turned to us on defense and went, "Can I come play for you guys?" So he's quite an emotive guy. He was getting very frustrated at the sideline in those moments.
You can only be frustrated with himself on that one. I think he started looking upfield before he had that ball in his hand. Tough one to take. But Stays a shutout for the Rams, who have only given up defensive points in one game this season. Just the
Yep,
Vikings.
just the Vikings game. The rest, any points scored have been either special teams or offensive turnovers.
That was a close one. Rams come out in spread 2-2. Hassan across the formation, right to left. Rojas, snap, give. JBD looks for room. He's got some. He's going up the middle. There's a burst of speed, and there he goes down to the 38-yard line.
Absolutely
Gain of
amazing.
22.
That was a great run there. Got some, he has 99 acceleration. That kid just
And he gets
just
skinny.
goes.
He gets skinny through the hole. I mean, it makes him very tough to bring down when he turns that body sideways, and then he's just out and through.
Yeah, straight through that hole, 20 yards down the field, and then gets tackled. You love to see it.
Playing with the Leeds Griffins with his uni ball.
That makes sense with the green gloves.
Oh, yeah. Rojas could have been a false start there. That is called. Snell jumped off the line at Rojas's clap, but the ball didn't come straight away. False start. Not so bad because it wasn't a very good play anyway.
I'm not sure Dorian's play calling anymore, from what I can see with
Eden Fay, the center.
Eden's going on and speaking to the QB. He's got his hat on. I think our offensive coordinator, play caller for the rest of this game might be our starting center and safety, starting center and captain.
I actually think it's kind of a good thing when you can do it in spots. I was watching, of all things, the Washington Huskies spring game the other day, and they had their starting quarterback calling plays for the backup. And it's just a good way to learn down and distances, formations. Keeps you in the game.
Well, I remember watching the NFL preseason a couple of seasons ago. It was the Arizona Cardinals versus the Seahawks. Obviously, I'm supporting the Seahawks.
Obviously.
When it came to the fourth quarter, it was told at halftime that Kyler Murray would be play calling in the fourth quarter. So although it was a preseason, I stayed till the end just to see how he play called, because it's incredibly interesting to suddenly have a player calling the plays because they see the game slightly differently than a coach.
I made that transition. I went from playing to coaching for a year, and I found it incredibly difficult, if I'm honest. Like, not to do. Coaching is, like, I could understand it, but it was really hard to not be able to affect change from the sideline. But the Rams put themselves in a spot here. 1st and 18 after the big run from JBD. They go in motion. Rojas, he's got pressure right away. He keeps his eyes up. He's got him if he wants to throw it to the right. He's got Snell on the catch. Breaks a tackle. Can he make it? He breaks another one. He's close, but he fumbles forward. He's down. He's down. After all that, he is down by contact. A good play from Rojas to Snell. Call that a gain of about 35. I think he was down at about the 2 or 3 yard line.
That connection is nasty today. I think it's been pretty nasty all season. Obviously, unfortunately, we've only been seeing the games at home where we've been streaming, unless there's been a stream that we've been able to watch. But Matt Snell seems to be having a real impact on this team this season, and his connection with Mikey Rojas has been incredibly impressive to see, especially today.
Already with 1 touchdown today, nearly had a second.
2. Matt's got 2.
Does he?
I think Snell has 2 touchdowns. Yeah. I believe so. I think this would be his 3rd. He scored the one across, and then he scored the one over the top.
I don't remember the one across, but I'll take your word.
It was the one where I was getting Jamie's name. I was down on the here. He scored over there, that first passing touchdown, ran the sail route, and then he scored this one-on-one here.
I remember that one.
Yeah, he scored those 2 touchdowns. So if he scores here, this will be his 3rd.
Oh, wow, what a day.
What a day for him. That's what I'm saying. This connection between the QB and the wide receiver is absolutely nasty.
Look at you, bringing that point home. They were getting ready to snap. I think there might have been a timeout called here. Coach for the Romans out onto the field.
Defensive coordinator. Not Jake.
Is that the head coach?
No, that's the defensive coordinator, I believe. He may well be the head coach as well, but I know it is definitely the defensive coordinator.
I'm not sure what they could be discussing other than at that fumble at the end of the play, but
whether it was in his hand when it touched the floor.
Pretty clearly called down by the back judge straight away. And I think they're going to say everything's okay, and off we go.
They also probably were checking the spot of the ball, making sure, because it's very close to the score line.
I think Rojas goes sneak again here for his 3rd one.
Yeah, probably. Would you?
No, give it to somebody else.
Let Nat Wise go in for the sneak.
Yeah, come on. Rojas in the gun. Motion across. Snap. Looking to pass. He's got him on the inside. If he can get it, Fish. Yes, touchdown. You can see the angle right from where we were standing. That window opened up. Rojas found it ever so slightly late to make it a little bit more difficult, but Hassan, really good job of finding the space. Touchdown Rams. That brings the score to 47-0.
I liked watching that play from this position because I could see exactly what it is that he's seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me feel really smart.
Look at you.
Don't often see it from the backfield. That's a lie.
And they're going to try to go for 2 here to make it a clean 49. That was a really good play from Rojas. He stepped up in the pocket. I think he had him sooner, but found the open space.
I think his first read was the out by Liam Calvert. Wasn't there. Turned to the middle. Open receiver running across the field. Easy play.
2x2 for the Rams. They go right up the gut. Wise looking for room. Stumbling, bumbling, but he's going to be knocked backwards. And that's going to keep it at 47-0. But the clock keeps running. Rams with a really nice performance today. And Cap, now the offense has played extremely well. We give a lot of plaudits to this Rams defense, and which they deserve. Pitch and shutout after shutout. But this Rams offense has been very consistent all day.
It's been absolutely
and no real
fantastic
dip
today.
No, got a lot of 3 backup linemen in, still able to run, still able to pass.
And credit to them as well, because this week Dorian was their play caller. Last week Christian Thompson was their play caller. The last game before that, Jim Rio was the play caller. So they've had 3 different play. I mean, Eden's now the play caller. They've had 4 different play callers in the space of 3 games.
Maybe the Rams
and they're still consistent.
Run a promotion for fans, like a fan gets to
play a fan's offensive coordinator. Yeah. Ruby, do you want to get on that?
I'd enter that contest.
A fan to come down and play call for the day.
Yeah, why not?
Here we come.
Sponsor it.
Yeah.
2-minute warning. This will definitely be the last possession. Probably will only get a couple of plays here with the running clock.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't even realize we'd finished the third quarter.
Yeah, they switched ends and everything.
Oh, I did not see that.
Just been having so much fun.
I have. I've just been watching football. But I'm keeping my eye on the sideline, trying to keep my eye on the chat. The only real thing is Carly asking, did he miss anything big? Only just managed to get on.
Yes,
Score
he did.
looks
Go
good.
back and watch it.
Yeah, I'd say just go back and watch it. But you can see the scoreline. That pretty much tells the story of the game.
It's been a very dominant performance this afternoon. Enjoyable to watch. Let's see how they can finish this thing up. Deep kick, right side. Rams on the coverage. There is a gap, but that is shut down in a hurry. Great tackle there from Mr. Adam Woodall. Wow, came in like a bullet right at the knees.
Absolutely took him out. You love to see it. I mean, I love watching special teams, people getting runs up, like full field head starts to hit someone. It's the best thing.
Yeah.
It's why I don't like the new NFL kickoffs.
Do you think they're going to... A lot of those rules do end up trickling down.
They do, and I think they will. And I say I don't like them in terms of physicality. The new rules for the NFL, I'm not a big fan of. However, in terms of a special... Looking from a STC perspective, which I have been in the past, the idea of being able to set up plays and pulls and stuff based on them being still is a really enticing thing for me.
Roberts back to pass. Richmond rolls out. He goes deep. He's got a man, and that's dropped again. Oh, the Romans are really not helping out their quarterback today. Rory Mansfield, drop on that one.
It was dropped. No one was nearby, and just for good luck, Tyler Broad put him on the floor.
Why not a little punch in the back as well?
Yeah, why not?
That's a tough one. I really feel for Richmond today. He's putting the ball in good places. He's not going to have a lot of receptions when it comes to the stat count, but he's put the ball mainly where it needs to be. The only really bad pass was the interception.
And that,
the second one was tough to take as well.
Yeah.
Time winds down. 2nd and 10 for the Romans. They go pass again, short to Mansfield. He scoops it up off the ground. They're going to call it incomplete.
Yeah, I was going to say that definitely touched the floor. Can't have long left now.
Who do the Rams have next?
I can tell you.
The ball game. Yes, it is.
Our next game is next weekend at home versus the Sheffield Giants.
Back to back against
the Giants. First at home and then away 2 weeks later.
Back here for a real decider against Newcastle.
on the 5th of June. That'll be a really interesting game. So, what did you think of today's game, Taylor?
It's a great ball game. Rams can feel very good about themselves. Had to deal with a few changes, but they roll along really well. And you're never going to be bad with a 47-0 to scoreline.
No.
It's been a great ball game. Nice to do it with you.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed myself. It's nice to come out here. It'd be good weather once again. I'm dreading the day when we suddenly get rain splicing through this tower. But I have enjoyed myself coming down and watching this team again. Another dominant performance. That's what I'll be hoping for next week and in 3 weeks' time. And this team just keeps grinding, just keeps going, and they'll just keep getting better and better as the season rolls on.
Is Jim back next week?
I'm not sure what the situation is going to be with the coaches next week, but we'll be back here to describe it all to you. But for now, from Freddie Loach and Taylor Umlin, that's the Rams on a win 47-0. We'll see you next time.
We'd like to thank Awesome for sponsoring us today. It's supported by Awesome, a brand focused on making everyday life more straightforward. We'd like to give a big thank you to Holland Hills Cars for their continued support of the Yorkshire Rams. And after this game, if you come down to O'Neill's, you may see some of us there taking in some sport and having a couple of drinks, a well-known spot for Ram supporters to come together. We hope to see you there. As Taylor said, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.